So I'm not really that savvy on the.
All right, what I can do is I can record it, and I will send you a Google Drive link afterwards, and then you can download the video.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right.
Okay.
So, thank you for having me, first of all.
Oh no, thank you for you know, reaching out to me on the on one of my videos and stuff. So I've been, you know, obviously getting educated through your site, and I saw you with Charlie Ward and everything, and you know, so you guys are both the people that I follow and get educated from. So thanks for everything that you do.
Oh wow, that's very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm just doing what I can, you know. I mean, there's a lot of study before I started uploading videos, like 15 years of study at least, with a little pause of 2 years, you know, because everything went through hell, so to say. But yeah, I'm back, and better than ever.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, so you've been awoke essentially what, 15, 17 years, for a long time, right? You've been so how I mean, how did you become awoke? What was your kind of moment that you realized everything was not what it was? So
wow, first of all, 9/11, that was one of the turning points, of course. But in 2004 I started discovering Alex Jones, Infowars. And also Jordan Maxwell, who is actually the bringer of David Icke. Jordan Maxwell is the one who brought David Icke to America and became big, of course, in the scene. But Jordan Maxwell is actually the Da Vinci Code professor, so to say, but then the real one. He knows everything about occultism, symbolisms. He knows everything about the Bible, sun religion, Saturn, you name it, all the dark stuff he knows about, the reptilian forces, etc. He knows a lot of stuff about, just like David Icke. But yeah, Jordan Maxwell is actually the guy to go to if you really want some information. And Jordan Maxwell, I'll put it in the link down below the video.
Okay, great.
So there's a lot of things to be learned from this man. And also Dr. Steve Pachiznik is one of the activators who was in Infowars a lot. He is ex-CIA deep state agent. His specialty was interrogating people. So you know how close he was to the deep state, of course. And he's been whistleblowing since 2004 also. So I've learned a lot from that guy as well, behind the scenes, how the deep state works and you name it. And eventually it brought me on a spiritual path, because after all the darkness, you see the light, of course. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. And the things that I'm trying to do now for the people are, calming them with some good info. And yeah, hopefully everything comes through, of course.
You never know. Thank you for what you do. I've been telling my subscribers to, definitely subscribe to your channel.
Yeah,
and getting educated, and to get, like you said, it's to, basically they're panicking and all that. So it's to kind of calm the masses, right? That's the main thing. Tell the truth. Yeah,
there's a lot of frustration and a lot of disbelief going on, and a lot of stories that Trump is like a Zionist or like a deep state. Q already warned us 1745 already warned us for that. This information is real, especially when the election have taken place, so to say. So yeah, it's very exciting times, but all we can do is stay positive, keep positive, because at the end you create your own reality. And with a positive thought, you can create your own positive reality, so positive future. And if you do that collectively, everything's going to be just fine.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So so I have a list of questions that I can kind of run down. So I don't know how you wanted to approach this. Do you want me to just ask questions, or do you want to provide your background and then give us some insight on 17 and the deep state and all your knowledge? If you want to kind of start that off.
Yeah, sure. I mean, what you can do is, like, you have some followers who wanted to know some things, right?
I mean, I'm not sure if you wanted to give like a introduction in terms of your knowledge of 17, the origin of that, obviously the deep state, the Illuminati, And then I do have like a list of 10 questions that you know, I'd like to run down with you. So
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, good enough. Good enough. I mean, so you want me to talk about like 1745 and
Yeah.
how I got like involved in all this?
Yes, that would
Okay.
be great.
Well, I've done a lot of research before Q even existed. I knew the Queen was draconian reptilian, for example, like 10 years ago already. I knew they were doing satanic rituals on children. I didn't know the extent of it, like how big it actually was, you know, like worldwide child trafficking is like unbelievable. I didn't know it was that like horrific, but yeah, I knew a lot of stuff was going on, Bohemian Grove, for example. But I took a little pause in 2016 with researching because everybody around me was, saying that was crazy, saying that was like, you know, a nut job or whatever. I lost a lot of friends during these times of revelations, actually.
Me too.
And so I took a little pause, and I actually started into end 2019 with Q, but I directly knew what Q was talking about directly because I knew all the main players. I knew the Rothschilds, I knew the Saudis, I knew Israel, I knew all the symbolisms behind it. I knew all the, well, not all, of course, but I knew a lot of the origins of Israel and the tribe of Dan, how they, the Khazarian mafia, like the fall of the Kabbalah suggests, the Khazar mafia. But I call them the tribe of Dan, and they've been plundering through Europe and eventually through America as well, and all the other countries. So yeah, I directly knew what Q was directing us to, you know, exposing the deep state, and I knew a lot of players already, so that was like quite handy, so to say. So in 2019, I rolled in, and in February or March, I think I saw Fall of the Cabal, and that was my trigger point to go. This is the time to release everything that I know, help the people as much as I can, and yeah.
So who's the the major players of 17, and that's one of the questions. And you know, how far back does it go in terms of these current plans? How long? Well, how far back does it go that they've been planning this, in essence?
I think it has been around 20 years since JFK Jr. died.
Oh wow, okay.
So they've been planning this, and Trump already said in interviews back in the 80s and the 90s, for example, with Oprah Winfrey, he said he was thinking about becoming president if America went down the road that they were going on back then, and that's the road to destruction, actually. So Trump would really not like to be president, actually, but if necessary, he would give his presidency as an option, so to say. But yeah, it was necessary at the end, or it was like a military coup led by General Flynn, for example, the NSA, the good guys from the NSA, or it was peaceful, or as peaceful as possible, with Trump as a president, elected by the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the admirals, the generals of the current government, not the shadow government, but the good guys in the government. So yeah, Trump was placed actually into position to help the people. With a peaceful transition to a 5D Earth, actually. So, yeah, he's a hardcore 3D warrior who plays 5D chess with the world, and yeah, he's doing very well in that game. There's a lot more things that we don't know of. Project Looking Glass is one of those things that people can't comprehend at this time. But yeah, it's not like psychic, or it's not like mystical or whatever. It's like science, actually. You know,
actually like a technology that they look in, like, through time, or do they actually, go through portals and then travel to time and see what's going on and then come back?
Yeah, what I've heard is that they plug in, so to say, 10 telepaths to a quantum computer, and if 9 of the 10 telepaths have the same vision, then that vision will come true. But since 2012, there has been a major event, actually, in 2012. What happened is that since 2012, all the timelines are coming together to one timeline, and only one timeline. Whatever they try to do, it's always victory of the light. So the quantum computer, I mean, is what they used, always gave the prediction that the light would win 2021. So yeah, whatever the cabal tried to do, between 2012 and 2020, no way that they could ever succeed. So all possibilities are already known. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's so in terms of 17, like who do they constitute? Because my understanding is they're like, I think it's like 11 people, 3 civilian, and the rest military, and then there's like 1,000 or 2,000 people behind them that are all, you know, top-notch military people. So
yeah, I think it's the Joint Chief of Staff, the good guys, the generals, the admirals, General Flynn, of course, who had a gag order first for like 3 years, 3.5 years almost. The gag order has been removed, so he can say anything he wants right now. So that's a big thing. He knows where the bodies are buried. If you follow 17, you know what I'm talking about. He knows all the financial, laundry, like money laundry, bribing. He has it all. He is he was the top, or he is the top general of the NSA, and he's a good guy. And Barack Obama knew that, so that's why they put him on a gag order, so he couldn't help Trump.
So in terms of him,
Logan Act, I think even.
Okay, like, but I know that Judge Sullivan's been, you know, trying to extend it so he can't talk, right? So when do you think Flynn was going to unleash, you know, when do you think, is it going to be all like these current events, or do you think it's just going to snowball and explode? Everything's going to come all at once, or is it going to be kind of more of a gradual thing? How's like it's been, or?
It's a gradual thing. You know why? It's this is a global event. People cannot handle the truth when you tell them. People have to see for themselves. QSR17, sorry, has already posted a lot of these one-liners. We cannot tell people. People have to see for themselves, and that's what we're actually in right now. A big show, totally controlled, fully controlled by the White Hats.
Yeah.
No cabal in play anymore. The Q clock has run out. Maybe if you know, you probably know that already. The Q clock has.
It expired on the 11th or something.
That means that the deep state underground operations are done, in my opinion. So there's going to be revelations now, a lot of disclosure. I see in the Netherlands where I live, I see a lot of unmarked police cars, like undercover police, just driving with sirens on constantly, over and over again through the whole city and the whole province. I mean, there are people getting arrested for sure. Even here in the Netherlands. The Netherlands is also very deeply rooted in the cabal from history, historian perspective, so to say. Right between Bavaria and Germany, where also the Dominion server was located, Frankfurt, and England with the Queen Elizabeth, the unholy grail of all people, actually. A wicked woman, that is, or was actually. Yeah, so the Netherlands have been since the 1400s or 1500s, I think, have been implanted by the cabal, and we're one of the biggest communist countries actually in the world, without us even noticing it. That's how brainwashed a lot of Dutch people are. Yeah, it's because of our media channels, of course. I mean, people still it's ridiculous.
The snake, right? They basically control. This, you know, basically brainwashing the masses and stuff. So,
yeah, for through the media for 60 years, you have to see it like this. You know, if people are like impatient, people want to see results. You know, people want to see this, want to see that, arrests, executions, whatever. That's not how the playbook works. This is not how this playbook works. You know, I mean, if you know Trump, you know he's like a real fanatic Sun Tzu Art of War. He's just the Art of War from Sun Tzu. The General Sun Tzu from China has written a book, The Art of War, and Trump is a big fan of that. He uses the Art of War a lot. I mean, it's just a conditioning. I mean, they've conditioned us in 60 years with a lie, from the truth to a lie, and Trump is doing in 3 years conditioning from a lie back to the truth. So people have to remember that it's a conditioning process. You know, people have to find out that the media is ludicrous. It's like ridiculous. They make a lot more mistakes nowadays. These days, you see a lot more shit going on, like Pornhub, like in the screen of CNN, and like all these statistics going wrong and losing votes there without flipping the screen first. You know, I mean, everybody's seeing it right now. Everybody's seeing everything, and that's how this has to go. I mean, we cannot tell people, because if you tell someone, he thinks you're crazy. If I tell
Yeah,
him, he thinks I'm crazy. They have to see for themselves, and that is what Q is meaning with those one-liners, or 17. Sorry, keep forgetting.
Yeah, no, I get it. So in terms of like in terms of the deep state Illuminati, like how long, they basically have been in control, right, from the onset. I mean, how long does this go back? Because like all this stuff goes back to like ancient times, like the Mayans and stuff like that, right? They were kind of ruling way back when, right? So how did I kind of understand how they were able to, infiltrate through America, but how long has this, their origins been going back? And
well,
so
the United States have been invaded in the early 1600s by the Virginia Company. That's where you got the web addresses .com from, because America is actually a company under the law of the sea.
that's right.
The Virginia Company is in the hands of the bloodlines of Plymouth, and Plymouth bloodlines are the royal reptilians, so to say, the reptilians of England. So the bloodlines of the Queen are actually in control of the Virginia Company. So they tried to bypass the Constitution, 1776, the independence. They tried to bypass it with all these certain laws and references to other law books, like article numbers. And eventually it resulted in 50% of all the gold and silver mines went to the Queen for like 400 years. And Trump is ending that right now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But the whole cabal goes back 50,000 years ago already. When then we're talking about Anunnaki. And Anunnaki also written in the book of Enoch, those who came from heaven to earth. And that's where we get our perspective from God, like the Anu. Anu is our God, so to say, in the Bible, you know what I mean? And he came from heaven. And yeah, that's not our God. That's not the one infinite creator, what we're talking about. So we have been lied to for like ages and ages. They've been conditioning us since, well, probably since 50,000 years ago, and 12,000 years ago, they already took power over the entire world, even like Egypt and stuff. And then, yeah, they got interfered by forces from the outside, so to say, light workers, and they demolished the cabal. But a few remain, including reptilians and draconian forces, and they went underground. And they've been on the ground for thousands and thousands of years because they could not show themselves between humans anymore. That was like told by the Galactic Federation to the reptilians. The Anunnaki were like, okay, let's go. We reached our goal. We have nothing to see here more on Earth, but the reptilians stay there. And that's where we have like our current 3D system from these cabal members that are like in power for thousands of years already. Yeah.
Okay, so so this brings my next question here. So my understanding is like, there's the Draco reptilians, right? And then there's also the Greys, right? So these guys are kind of, working in tandem with each other. Obviously, they have different agendas on the planet, especially the Greys. So can you give some insight on that? And then are there any other nefarious forces besides them underground or here that, and they've been wiped out? So that's the next.
They have been wiped out, but there were a lot of alien races here on Earth. Actually, still are, but not all Greys are bad. First of all, you have like the division, like in bad and good Greys. What I found out is actually that this universe has been created by the good Greys, actually, but that's some speculation. I still have to do some more research in this.
Okay.
But, the bad Greys, satanic. You also have like a bad Andromeda Council. There's a good Andromedian 9D Council, and there's those who have been who have rebelled against the Andromedan Council and started their own. And that's just something like the United Nations, like they try to infiltrate, and they also do child sacrifice and rituals. But the same goes for Greys, Andromedans. It's like half is good, half is bad. I mean.
I mean, with every, I guess with any,
humans, half is bad and half is good.
yeah, that's right.
That's what's happening right now. But yeah, reptilians and draconians can't go any further than 4D. So 5D technology, they can't comprehend, so to say. They can't understand that because they don't recognize the light, and the light is the source of all information, of course. They abide their own God of darkness, called Satan, or Lucifer, or Baal, or Moloch, whatever you want to call it. It all means the same, actually. Yeah, I mean that's what I know about the alien races, but there are more good alien races than there are bad.
Now, is there have these guys been wiped out in our planet yet, or are they still there? And Trump is still battling them, in deep underground military bases, or or have they been wiped out?
Well, in March, as soon as President Trump went in lockdown,
Yeah.
that was the first underground operation. Well, not the first actually, but the big one to liberate America. America first, he said.
Mhm.
17 said America first, and then what was it? Saudi Arabia, I think. And then yeah, save Israel for last. That's what I know. Asia, Africa, or Africa, Asia, Europe, and then Israel and Iran, I think. That was the order, I think. But yeah, I think all the deep underground military bases have been removed already, including all the, well, entities that work there, so to say.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think what we are witnessing right now with these lockdowns right now is the swamp actually that's on the service. So the service players like mayors, police officers, high-ranking
Right.
police officers, like
Local guys, right? State and local government, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
And that's the last piece of the pyramid, of course. And then
Okay.
the very bottom of the pyramid is the people. So we're almost there. And then it's
Okay.
time to turn up the pyramid upside down. So we don't have a hierarchy anymore, but we have a holarchy. And that means that the people are on top and it's leaning on a few good people. So it doesn't tip over. So
That's right.
the pyramid is empty, like this actually. So the information flow keeps on going without these layers.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So that's what is necessary. You need information, good information, and it needs to keep flowing between top and bottom of that pyramid. So everybody is actually, well, the people are on top, so the people are in charge. Yeah, if the good people don't do their work, the pyramid starts to tip. So, and then you will get, well, I don't know, resign, resign, and we'll put someone else's place. So that's why Trump is always sitting like this. He wants
Oh yeah, I always see them do that. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now I get it.
and Diana, Princess Diana as well. They
Right.
always walk like this, and it means holarchy. Holarchy means the upside down pyramid and no hierarchy, no more top.
Wow. I mean, that's symbolism it's what it's all about, right? When you have to see that in 5D, that's how they're trying to communicate with us. Is there so with regards to them going down and taking down these nefarious forces, ETs and all whatnot. So are they getting help, right, from benevolent ETs? Is that my understanding? Like Palladians, talk about the Galactic Federation. So just wanted to tap on your knowledge of that.
Yeah, we've been helped a lot because the moon is like a flagship for the nefarious forces, as you call them.
Okay.
It's hollow. There's like bases in and outside on the moon, on the dark side of the moon. Like Saturn, the rings of Saturn is also or could also be used as a weapon. Even it's a resonance weapon. Is what they use the rings for. So we had to had some help from the outside, of course, to destroy these planets and the moon, clinch the moon, etc. And that's what's been happening. Without these forces, we couldn't survive. No.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, we're going up against something that's I mean, that was always my thing. Is that I mean, these guys, from my understanding, the Reptilians and Greys and all, I mean, they have advanced technology, so we'd have to get help, right, from the outside benevolent side.
Yeah, from even better technologies. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Even more, a lot more. These guys are in 5D, right? They're at a higher level. So then the next question is with regards to like planets and all that. I mean, okay, first and foremost, in terms of the Earth is hollow, right? So that was one of my questions. And then the second thing is, how like there's perceived that Mars is and Venus and all these other planets are a certain way. It's probably a lot different. So that was one of the questions that I had.
Okay, well, about Hollow Earth, there is a big hole in Antarctica, but it doesn't go all the way through the Earth. That's not what it's about. Also, Flat Earth, for example, is a psyop from the Cabal. So people that are choosing to believe in a Flat Earth, well, go right ahead. I don't care, actually. But you're getting yourself on a wrong track, I mean, I never heard a Pleiadian channeling message about a flat Earth, or about the hollow Earth, or no, we're a globe, we're a sphere, we're a.
Okay. Yeah, but they're saying like elliptical sphere. It's more like it's not totally round, but it's more like this.
It's like egg-shaped a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I heard. And then they were saying Admiral Byrd went inside and he went to Argartha or something, and he saw, essentially amazing place, right? So that's and he documented it in his diary. So
yeah, they say it's like in the Antarctic, the entrance of the hollow Earth, but I think it's just a big ass pit, so to say, big as pit. I mean, there's been Anunnaki hives have been placed there in Antarctica, and that's why Trump and Putin sent their biggest troop deployment ever to Antarctica in 2016. That was not for exercise, that was for killing Enlil, Anunnaki god, so to say. They call themselves God, but they're not. So Enlil, who is the king of Earth, the top of the pyramid actually, almost, the Pindar, he got killed by Trump and his forces. So they went in the pit and they destroyed everything and took them out. And that's why the biggest troop deployment ever was in Antarctica in 2016. So I don't think it's hollow, because they would go right through it, I suppose. But there is a core. There is there has to be a gravitational point. I mean, that's my opinion actually. What other people think, that's up to them. But flat Earth is a psyop that originates from the 1600s, and the hollow Earth is just an extension of it, in my opinion. So I don't know. I don't know for sure what to tell people about it, but I don't think that's the main focus anyway.
Sure. No, that's one of the questions that we had. Also, so like you and Charlie talked about the mandatory shot for the CV, right? Kind of debunked it. This is regarding Pfizer, right? They came up with the supposedly CV, and everybody went crazy. The sheep, obviously. But what's your opinion on this mandatory CV? My opinion is I don't think it's going to be. I think he's just playing along with it. But at the end of the day, I think we know what it is. The H is the therapeutics, right? Is the primary thing. But what is your opinion on that?
You know what it is. He's talking in codes, first of all. Those speech about the vaccines, about Pfizer, he said, remember, 90% effectiveness. Today, Moderna has 94.5%. You know what? I want to bet what comes next. Hydroxychloroquine, 99%. No vaccine yet, just therapies. That's how he's going to play it, first of all. Put vaccines in, 90% effective, 94% effective, and then 99% effective. So what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose vaccine or therapy?
That's right.
A few pills or a vaccine in your bloodstream. I mean, easy choice for me. Easy choice.
Yeah. No, I exactly. I mean, that's kind of a
plus vaccines. To say something quickly, the vaccines was meant actually arrests. The cure or the virus is the media and the officials that are getting arrested. And he was talking about some other things. He said we sent a lot of ventilators overseas again. Well, ventilators are helicopters, black helicopters for special operations.
Okay.
So when he says I'm sending ventilators, helicopters are big ventilators, of course, because he's talking about ventilators that are very hard to make, take a very long time, very sophisticated. Well, ventilators aren't that sophisticated. Give me a propeller and 2 wires and I can make a ventilator for you in a day. I mean, it's not that hard, but helicopters, they are hard to make. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So when he said that in April, I already figured it out in April. I was looking at Europe flight map and I saw hundreds and hundreds of helicopters when he said the day before, we're sending a lot of ventilators overseas right now. And the next day, it was like hundreds of helicopters just going on and off between Norway and England and the Netherlands and Germany, and it's everywhere. And the day after, no more helicopters, nothing. So I'm serious. He meant with ventilators. Yeah, he means helicopters. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, that's great. Let's see here. Next thing is, So, you already answered the question in terms that, we're basically watching a movie right now, right? The White Hats are totally in control. And so the next thing is like, how close are we to like, the Great Awakening, full disclosure? I know it's going to kind of gradually be kind of told, but do you think that's coming? Is it imminent, within weeks, or you think it's going to be extended with, in months? And so what is your kind of...
Well, believe it or not, our sun is in a solar flare event from 2019 till 2023. These solar flares will trigger people, their consciousness actually. So can you imagine what a central sun solar flare will do with people when our own sun is already like triggering people? Imagine a sun 1,000 times as big, giving a solar flare and reaching us. How many people are getting consciously triggered? Like, then I think 21st of December is the day to go to still. Also from prophecies and predictions from Mayans, for example. Also, I heard that we are running behind 8 years in the calendar, or behind, I think. So actually 21/12/2012 is actually going to happen this year.
Okay.
The big solar flare event. So that's a pretty amazing thing to witness actually.
So when the solar flare event happens, is it going to be like, is it going to cause, global havoc? I mean, like, are we safe? Is there anything that people should do?
I wouldn't look up when it could look like a nuclear explosion. That's how, that's how bright it is.
Okay.
But, no, it's going to be harmful for a lot of people that have like unhealthy addictions or whatever, like eat a lot of meat, like processed meat and stuff. People that like stuff themselves with, I don't know, you name it, like bad stuff, sugars. Those people are going to get physically, they're going to suffer pain.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's going to rip all the metals out of your body, which is in processed meat. The solar flare just triggers all those things. I mean, it's going to remove all your blockages and it's going to hurt like hell if you decide to live unhealthy. But if you're like living healthy, there should be nothing wrong. No. I mean, I'm going on the street and I'm going like, wee. I'm going like floating. Sure. I mean,
okay, that's good.
Also heard the 21st of December is that a portal is opening and people that are awake can go through the portal, and then there will be a separation in timelines. So there will be a 3D planet and a 5D planet. And that portal will open up again like in March, I think. It will open up once or twice more. And the more people that get awake, the more people will enter the portal and go to a 5D world. But that's speculation that I don't know for sure, but that's what I've heard here and there. So I don't want to say that that's like official. I don't know for sure. For me, it's a mystery as well, but from all the prophecies, what I've known, it's always referring to 2112. So I think a lot of people are gonna figure out that there's something more than just this 3D world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's, I heard a lot of people say that, there's going to be 5D and 3D, we're going to be living kind of separately. And so how does that work? I mean, the people in 3D are they just going to be miserable and they're going to die off, or are they physically, we're going to be in the same physical plane, right? So how does that, are they going to be kind of moving towards another location, or it's just more from a mindset? So,
well, in my honest opinion, I think we still are going to live on the same world, but a lot of people aren't going to cope with the idea that Trump is like a good guy, for example, or that 17 is real, or people are going to have a lot of problems with addictions because Trump is not only battling the nefarious forces, but also the drug cartels and also the child trafficking rings, of course, but also the tobacco companies are probably going to be like ending very soon, because addictions to cigarettes is like really, really bad, of course. It brings you negative vibes, it brings you negative frequencies, smoking. So I mean, a lot of people can't cope with that, and that is, or go crazy, of course, because they can't get their old habits back. The Pleiadian message says that there's like 20 to 30% of the people that probably won't make it. But that's fine. But that's fine. Death is an illusion. We are all like infinite awareness. We don't have like a death or rebirth in the literal sense. I mean, yeah, from universe to universe. I mean, when you die, you get born again. It's just an unendless cycle, you know. I mean, so
we're like immortal, right? We have our souls, right? It just can, yeah.
But that's your infinite awareness, your infinite consciousness, so to say. Yeah, and yeah, people should step away from fear. That's one thing. Fear, jealousy, greed, your super ego. Try to fix that before the 21st of December, at least, because then I think your chances of survival will be a lot bigger, so to say. Yeah, there's of course a lot of heroin addicts and cocaine addicts and you name it, alcohol and you name it. That's going to be removed during well, hopefully during next year, because that will fall in the hands of the cabal, of course. So yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm just waiting out. You know, I'm just waiting now. I mean, I got the full picture in my head, and yeah, I'm just sitting it out. I mean, I'm patient. I don't have any stress. I'm going to work on my project very soon. I'm leaving to Portugal 4th of December, and I'm going to start Karma Cure. And Karma Cure is a humanitarian project. Which
I want to talk to you about that. And the last thing, that's the last thing I want to talk about. So in terms of the election scenario and how it plays out to Nasara, I just got my video. The last video was, Charlie Ward talked to that Jay Hall, and then he kind of announced Nasara right the day before the election. And so, what are your thoughts in terms of the timeframes of the arrests and the lockdown and everything? Because what's going to happen, I believe, through the scenario over the course of the next few weeks, or is that there's going to be some sort of disclosure, and then we're going to go to lockdown, and then we're going to have the blackout, the things that 17 talks about. So what's your perception on that?
Well, I don't think that was the announcement of DJoustra, first of all.
Okay.
I respect her work. She's done very great. It's indeed, well, yeah, it might be possible because everybody, their political status have been changed, of course, to president-elect and to political candidate or whatever. But if you take in notice 120 days after announcement of DJoustra, elections are gonna go through. That should be the 21st of March in my sources, and that means 120 days earlier is exactly 22nd of November, which is exactly 11 days after the coup started, and the assassination date of JFK Sr. So the 22nd of November is, in my eyes, the date to go to. But yeah, on speculation, but still numerology.
You're saying lockdown in terms of, when we're going to get the emergency broadcast and all that. I believe
that might be the 21st of December, because the solar flare will end all the last artificial intelligence of the cabal. That's one thing that is known. So all the artificial intelligence, including the media, because that's one big artificial intelligence as well, together with social media, of course. I mean, that's all going to be blasted out of the earth, so to say, by the solar flare.
So you think the arrests and all that, probably we'll see that like a month or so, or maybe earlier than that, in terms of the major arrests that we're looking for to confirm, that's going to wake people up, I believe, once they see what these people are about, especially with regards to crimes against humanity. I think that's the unification issue.
Yeah, I think they're playing the game very well, the white hats. What they're doing is behind the scenes. They do all the rest, of course, and that's because of they don't want to alert the cabal members or people that have worked for the cabal, so they can arrest them, so they won't flee, for example. So that's why we don't know anything yet. I mean, people just have to be patient. This is a global event. If you know how big Earth is, I mean, then you might understand how much work it is to get 7 billion people under DJoustra. I mean, everybody has to get their basic income. You know how much work it is? It's unbelievable. And that's just one part of the task. I mean, they have to do, they have to do military operations to child saving, children saving children. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. Of course, new laws have to be put in place. System, new quantum computers, Starlink system from Elon Musk, Tesla towers instead of 5G towers. Well, you name it. There's a lot of stuff they're taking accountability, of course, and it's not just the arrests. I mean, there's a lot of other things that are going on that have to be implanted first before everything can come out into the light. And that has also to do a lot of it has to do with astrology as well. The planets have to be in the correct position to get more energy for your purpose. And that's how the cabal and the deep state always made their money, because of astrology. Billionaires use astrology, millionaires don't. So the billionaires know when they have to take certain actions on certain dates and do events on those dates, because it will multiply their energy that they put in. And that's the same goes for Trump. Trump uses astrology as well, and his team, of course. I mean, and he does that very well, very well. Yeah. Also, the dark planet Saturn, the 21st of December, will be replaced by Jupiter. And that's a very good transition, because Baphomet, you know, Satan, Baphomet, is linked to Saturn.
Saturn, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Saturn is going to be taken over by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the jolly old giant, so to say. So that's a lot of good energy. So I think the 21st of December is, and the 22nd of November are the dates to take an accountability.
Okay. No,
things are going to happen.
No, that's great to hear. And then I pretty much have wrapped up my questions. So the last thing, you know, obviously, you know, tell us about the, you know, 5D community, right? We talked about that a little bit earlier in terms of your, you know, going to look out for land, right? Yeah. And then, you know, how can folks get involved with your, you know, your vision?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I got hundreds of emails in the meantime of volunteers that want to help. That's very good, of course. It's very nice, positive feeling. People can go to karmacure.com. I will leave a link in the description. Okay. And everything that we have, like, our vision is on the website, of course. But personally, it's for a community, for people that want to contribute. Sorry, contribute. Can't pronounce that. Damn. Anyway, for people that want to work on KarmaCure to keep it running, because KarmaCure will include like a medical treatment center, where we will implant med beds as soon as possible, of course, and other Nikola Tesla inventions to heal people physically. But we also want to do like trauma therapy, addictions for people that have like addictions. And next to the medical side of the KarmaCure, we also want to have like a spiritual world where people can do readings, where people can enjoy nature, where people can swim, where people can just be happy, you know, just live, so to say. And next to that, we want to have like a music area, like a festival area, permanent festival, and where you have music and dance and just everything to elevate your frequency and be on a higher vibration. That's what KarmaCure is all about. Yeah, and the entrance is free. I mean, people can just come onto the train for free and use all the facilities. Yeah, we'll have shops and bars and restaurants there. I mean, it's going to be huge. So yeah, it's a five-year project at least. So yeah, we need all people that we can get, of course. But first of all, we need builders. Builders are people that work hard, that have like carpenter knowledge or like construction knowledge or whatever. Also, we want to stay as close as possible to nature, so use as much nature materials as possible, without fluoride, without anything, without additions to water or whatever, just as pure as possible. Yeah.
Well, that's great. You know, I did watch the video, so it looks, you know, looks like you guys have a great plan and stuff. So
yeah, the 4th of December, I will be going to Portugal, as I said before, and I will be picked up by two friends from England. They have 2 motor homes. Okay, so we already have our home for the next coming months. And we've been invited by a woman who lives in Portugal who has 2,000 acres of land. Wow. So that's quite amazing. That's like 2,000 football fields, I think, something like that. Yeah. So we might make a deal with her, or we can operate from her land to find at least a good piece of land with running water, preferably for the energies. Of course, we need good energy in the land. Yeah, it's like a recon, you know, going on recon, going for land. Hopefully with DJoustra, we can just claim land, you know. I mean, then there's no government anymore. We can just put a fence around it. This is our land, done. But DJoustra, we'll have to wait for that.
Yeah, no, it's coming. So I mean, it's exciting time to be alive, for sure. I mean, this is probably the most, amazing time for, anybody. And so it's like, being involved in this great awakening it's really unbelievable. So
Yeah, this is what we signed up for, huh?
I think so.
For sure.
Yeah, so I think we covered everything. Thanks for, everything. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for educating, all my subscribers. Thanks for everything that you do. I really appreciate it. Obviously I got educated a lot, through your site and, your website as well. I started looking at a lot. I got red pilled, only in June, right? So I kind of dove in like 1,000%, and then coming out on the other side and trying to.
Well, thank you all, first of all. I mean, that's very nice of you to say. But second of all, I think you're doing a very great job as well. You're very enthusiastic, and that is like, yeah, I mean, you get enthusiastic yourself, when you.
Yeah, I get the passion. I think it's because
passion.
of, I just want to work as much people as we can. Like, we're coming down the stretch here, and I just want to, like you said, try to minimize the panic, keep people like at a good frequency, right? We're coming close to the end game now, so it's like, just focus on that. Don't focus on the daily things, because we know that that's coming. So
and don't try to focus on the old agenda of the cabal as well. That's what I want to say to people. I mean, I see people slipping back into the old agenda again, but the whole agenda has been terminated already. There's only the white agenda. And the agenda is going according to plan, as far as I know. So I don't know why people are like all wound up, like all quarreling and fighting each other. I mean,
no, I mean, like you said, I mean, sometimes like I get people like at a good state, and then they start listening to mainstream media or something, and then they curl back to it, and so I have to unwind them again. So that's the part we're going against.
Also, false spiritual leaders. There's a lot of spiritual people, so to say, on YouTube, but what they say is maybe 80 or 90% true, but the other 10% is like planting seeds in your head, which brings you back to 3D again. And that's what I want to warn people about. Just look out who you are following. If he's negative, then he chooses to live in a negative reality. Stay positive and create your own positive reality. I mean, you got to believe it to see it, so you better believe it.
No, you're absolutely right. Because I followed like 20 to 30 people, and now it's really gone down to kind of more focused in terms of maybe 10 or 15. So I mean, because I don't, it's the energy, right? You don't resonate it with it, then that's where you have to go. So that's why I try to tell people, just you have to think for yourself. That's what I think 1745, they want us to think for yourself, not just take everything for whatever it said. Think for yourself critically, and the inside will tell you what that is.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
well, thanks, Danny. I mean, appreciate it. Let's keep in touch. Hopefully we can do this again. I wish you well on your project, and hopefully my subscribers, I can get involved, and whatever we can do to help you out, that would be great.
Yeah, my email is on the website. So if people want to contact me on the website, karmacure.com is my email address, danny@karmacure.com. You can always mail me with your specialities, your skill sets, or whatever. I mean, in due time, we need a lot of people to keep it running. So also energy healers, spiritual readers, I mean, we're going to go to a 5D world, so we need 5D people.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank you for your time. And
thank you so much, Danny.
And
appreciate it.
Have a very blessed day.
You too.
All right.
Take care. Bye-bye.